In this video, we're going to cover how to fix lower back rounding in the deadlift. I am not going to cover if you should round or shouldn't round. This is just that you want to fix lower back rounding in the deadlift, and this is how you do it. So just for simplicity of this video, we're going to break the back up into two parts, upper back and lower back. So for lower back rounding, we are going to be focused on the lower back, which is going to involve rotating the pelvis. So just to show what I mean by that is when you're in this bottom position, okay, to get extension of the lower back here, we need to be able to rotate the pelvis and get our back extended like this. So this is going to be, if I'm rounding like this, okay, my pelvis is tucked under. So this is posterior pelvic tilt. An analogy I like to use, it looks like I'm a dog taking a shit, okay? We don't want to look like a dog taking a shit when we deadlift. We want to be in an anterior pelvic tilt. So we are extended in the spine here, okay? So that is what I was referring to, the lower portion of the spine. A mistake that people sometimes make when I'm trying to show them this is rather than rotating the pelvis, they'll do like the upper back like this. So they'll kind of protract their shoulders or they'll round the upper back and then they'll flare out their chest like this, okay? With here, I can do this movement, but it's not actually doing down here, okay? Hence why I wanted to break the back up into a upper portion and lower portion. Again, we're focusing on the lower portion, which is a rotation of the pelvis. Now, half the people watching this are going to be able to rotate the pelvis fine, and the other half people watching this are going to have problems with rotating the pelvis. For the first half that can do it, basically what you're going to do when you're down here, you come in this position, you're going to arch your back like this, okay? You pull the slack out the bar, big breath, stand up, and I was able to do the deadlift without rounding my back. So again, it was down here, arch my back, okay, and then lift. If you are having trouble doing that position, we're gonna go through a few different steps now so I can teach you how to do this. So then later on, you can do a deadlift whilst keeping your back extended and offsetting the rounding when you lift the bar off the floor. So step one, you need to be able to rotate your pelvis while standing here. So if you can see the seam on my pants, all right? So this is posterior pelvic tilt, okay? I'll squeeze my glutes, I'm in this position, then anterior pelvic tilt. I need to be able to do this position, okay? Being able to rotate my pelvis, because this, what I'm doing here, again, is the same that I'm doing here, okay? It's the same thing. Now, when I'm teaching clients, okay, for the people who struggle to get this movement of rotating the pelvis, people can generally do it here, not too bad, all right? But it's when they get down to the bottom, this is where they struggle with. I want to be clear that when you are rotating the pelvis, some people, when they try to do this, they're going to do this, so they're shoving the butt back, or they kind of bend the knee, so they're basically doing everything else opposed to just isolating this pelvis position. So what I suggest is, if you're not sure if you're doing it, go in front of a mirror, okay, and do that. Maybe don't do it in public, because you're like, if you're at the gym and you're like in the corner and you're kind of going like that, people are going to kind of think you're like a little bit of a creep, and they'll be like, oh, what are they doing? And then they kind of like kick you out the gym, and you probably don't want that. So do it at home, all right? That, you're going like that. Look in the mirror, all right, and see if you can rotate the pelvis. From that, if you can rotate it up there, now you need to be able to practice it down here, all right? This is where we want to be able to do it. So what I suggest is, again, you can practice at the gym somewhere, all right? If you don't want to do it at the gym, get like a broomstick and you can practice it at home, all right? But you want to be able to do this. Now, if you're struggling, A good cue that I'm actually stealing from a starting strength video that I watched, and I liked it, is when you're down here, if you think, you can either think belly button to the floor, all right, which gets you in this position, belly button to the floor, or you can even think like stomach between the thighs, all right? Either one probably works. Because again, you're trying to do this and get anterior pelvic tilt. So again, belly between the thighs or belly button through the floor seems to work. For some clients, what I need to make them do so they can actually tell that they have their back like this, okay? And they can actually feel that they are in that position. Between each rep, I will make them purposely round that back. So purposely look like a dog taking a shit. Then extend. Then you can do your deadlift. Pull the bar, big breath. Up, down. And then once you're in this position, between the next rep, so you'll do that again. Purposely round, arch. So you can feel when it's, we're gonna call it out of phase and in phase, okay? So purposely get it out of phase, in phase, out of phase, in phase, out of phase, in phase. Okay, so it's just more of almost like a checklist just to make sure that you are actually getting the back into extension before you lift the barbell off the floor. And just the last thing, so when you're down there and you have your back in extension, when you think you've done it hard, do it even harder. And make sure that once you've extended it, you hold it. Because another problem I see with clients is they'll be in this position, they arch, they're really good, and then just as they go to like pull the slack out the bar, or taking their breath, either one, they'll let go. So they might be like this, and then as they go to pull the slack out the bar, they start to let go of it, okay? So think, once you have extended the spine, hold the position and do not let go of it. So just to give a small recap of everything that you're gonna do, the extension of the spine comes from a rotation of the pelvis. When you're down in this position, okay, we want to be able to put our back into extension here by rotating the pelvis, or the cue that you can use is either belly button between the legs or belly between the thighs. If you need to, you can purposely round the back and then extend before every single repetition to make sure that you're doing it right. Lastly, once you have extended the spine, make sure you hold that position whilst you're pulling the slack out the bar and taking in the breath so you can maintain that position as you stand up.